Live.
Oh,
dear.
Right. We're live. Right. Hello,
Hey
everybody.
guys.
Lovely to see you all again. We're back. We're back. Righto. Get back to your lessons. Stop
Yeah, trying to watch it at
watching
school.
the stream while you're meant to be doing your studies. Epitaph, what's your mate? All right. Psycho, hello. Raw Basics, hello, mate. Mad Mike, hello, hello, hello. Ender, hi there. Jackstack, hello. Front, yay, you bastard. JTA 333, hey. People in the fire. Doggy Star 666.
Hamster porn.
South Park, hey. Hardcore Martin, hello. Johnny Rambo TV. Ray Estrada. Everybody's here. The gang's all here, and some new people too. Laxion, James Drock, hello. Right, well, thanks for joining us for another stunning Twitch stream in which we've got some stuff to announce. Yes.
At last.
Yeah. So, as you all know now, we've got the little shift out there of the release date, which is, yeah, Douglas is here. It's okay, everyone. I was snogging with Douglas when we started, didn't you see?
I did have to remind him to bring Douglas on though. He did forget.
I'm old and senile. Yeah, so, okay, what have we got coming up? Well, we've got an update for you, haven't we? We've got an update on an update that's coming up in an update. And I won't beat about the bush as we start to play the build. What was built today and is being tested as our update release candidate. This is the one, folks. This is it. And so, what am I going to tell you about this? Well, if all goes swimmingly, and there's no reason at the moment to suggest that it won't, but obviously we're going to have a few days of testing this build. It'll be out on Friday. Yes, that'll be the last update before we do the full release. And by Jove, what an update this is! Obviously, it's got everything that's been worked in since the one that you guys are all playing, which is clearly showing rather long teeth now, if that even makes sense. It's rather long in the tooth now, is what I was trying to say. It's old, all right. This one is brand spanky new and has got all the improvements that we've been making to the game in it, obviously. So, as of Friday, say, all things being well, no reason to think there won't be, this will be the one that you'll be playing with. Come then. So, lots and lots of stuff in it. Highlights, let's see, I've just got my little list down here in front of me. In multiplayer, general performance improvements, all the desyncing that was the bane of the multiplayer before, that's a thing that passed well almost entirely, and it's all nicely worky now. So we got the game stability improved, we got significant reduction in crashes, very rare now for us to be experiencing crashes. That is like the bad sort of crashes, not the good ones that you see here. We have just general performance improvements overall on that, which also goes hand in hand with improvements to the cars, where we've tweaked the car's comparative specs and performance. We've tweaked the car upgrades, and the rims and skins actually work now, so you can unlock them, which would be nice. The AI's been improved as well. We've got AI paths improvements, so the path finding for the AI is easier for them, and they can actually do it. And are you just driving through all of those? They're not actually picking them up. So we may have another build tomorrow with some more improvements, as we've just discovered. That he's not picking up pickups in this particular car. Hooray! You saw it here first, folks. Yes, report it now. Carmageddon.com, bugger. What the fuck? That is actually, yeah. We're going to start again.
We'll just restart.
Move along now. Nothing to see
Nothing
here,
to see.
as they say. So in the meantime, I'm going to distract you with some more of the amazing improvements to the game. Yes, AI pathfinding is improved. The AI are even more competitive now, or they are competitive now, because I think in a lot of instances they weren't really in the build that you guys are playing. And the general AI behaviour has been tweaked and improved. The levels have been improved. The race routes in some places have been tweaked so that they're actually running better, and pup placement and selection has also been improved around those routes. We've done our final, what is considered pretty much our final pass on that now. In fact, it should be the final because we're in lockdown. Goddamn lockdown! So the pups themselves have been improved. There have been bug fixes with the pups, apparently.
Yeah.
Well, they will be in the build tomorrow. And then there have been tweaks to the timings and frequencies of pups, so you won't be continually getting lunar gravities,
Which
for
is
instance.
the bane of my life.
Which has been the bane of our life, but is now sorted out. And the fact is that there were well, what happened was, in multiplayer, where there's no PEDs, the PED power-ups have been substituted for other things. Unfortunately, someone had erroneously sort of doubled up on replacing PED pup barrels with lunar gravities, which didn't really help when you were playing multiplayer. But anyway, as I say, the multiplayer experience is a massively improved experience now, and we should all be online enjoying that with each other. Come Friday! Yes, 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 yes! The other things, what have improved, tech improvements. There have been big improvements to the virtual texture performance of the game, and that work is now pretty much completo, barring obviously post-release patches and whatnot. And there have also been improvements to the visual settings options, so the game, for any given level of PC, should see its performance improved considerably. Audio, we got the music and audio files have been moved to a non-validated ZAD audio folder, so that's outside of the main game ZADs. So you can go in and play with the audio without messing up your multiplayer game experience, your career saving and the rest of it. That was something that's been requested, and I think that's brilliant because I really love audio mods in games. So that's lovely. There is also, it just sounds like a small thing, but actually it makes a huge difference to the perceived ambience of the game, and that is that there's an engine volume slider now, which allows you to just turn down the engine volume of cars, and actually opens up a whole new world of ambient sound effects and the sounds of heads and whatnot in the game. Really makes those easier to hear. What we're going to be doing for the final release is we will be setting that at a slightly different level to the level that it's set for this particular build. For the moment, you can play about with it yourself. It's really interesting actually to find that there was a lot of sound. For me personally, there were a lot of sound effects, ambient sound effects in the game and whatnot that I wasn't even aware of, which is quite stunning.
Yeah, I mean, we played around with it a lot, didn't we?
Yeah.
And you really start to hear PED sounds quite a lot more, don't you?
Yeah, and
it really adds a lot.
It does. It improves the game. I mean, the sound effects are really important, and the fact is that at the moment, or up until recently, they're actually being drowned out a fair bit by the loud engine audio. So it's a small point, but a biggie. And then in the front end and UI department, there's going to be Steam Cloud Save support. That'll be there. And there's also improved localization in this update build. There's been a lot of work done on improving the translations. Okay. And now, so there's all of that. That's all great stuff. Any questions so far? Can't see any at the moment. So the other thing that we'll be announcing, or that we'll be doing in this update, is that the multiplayer game is 6-player. What? Why only 6-player? Only 6-player, I hear you cry. Well, basically the game has been, as you'll know from the single-player game, it's been designed with 6 cars in mind on the grid and all the rest of it from the off. And generally the performance of the game is far better with 6. 8 was always an aspiration, and it was something that we were aiming for, but it's turned out to just the extra overheads that puts onto the engine it's just not worth it. The game is a much better experience. Plus, we've found testing 6-player that it is actually a better game, because it is the game, as I say, that single player was designed for. And it was always the case that we wanted multiplayer and single player to feel very similar experiences. This is. So that's what we've done. As far as we're concerned, it's a positive move, very much so, and and it has done an enormous amount to actually just by doing that, knocking out a lot of the desyncs and performance problems that we were having with the multiplayer game. So that was a good first step, and then there's been an awful lot of actual optimization and all the rest of it gone into improving multiplayer. And those, my dear friends, are the highlights. Okay?
Woohoo!
Well, hey!
Lots of
coming
awesome
on Friday.
Stuff.
Yeah, Ender. Now I know you've said, yeah, we played some games with 7 and 8 players and didn't experience any problems. However, in the course of all the testing we were doing, obviously we've been doing a massive amount of testing purely on multiplayer. We found that it was causing pretty much most of the problems we were having. Drop it down to 6, you just don't get the problems anymore. There's a massive amount of because the multiplayer code obviously relies on constant rewinding, because you know what I'm doing here is getting passed over the network, or across the world, to somebody else playing the same game somewhere else. So what they're seeing is a rewound version of what I was doing, and the amount of processing time that takes for the complexity of what we do in terms of damage and collision and all the rest of it, it was just overloading the whole thing. 6 is cool. It's not impossible, Darian Bro, that modders may be able to go in and frig with that. I can't say for certain at this stage, but it's possible that the eventual scope of Carmageddon will be such that you can pretty much frig with whatever you like. That's what we always wanted to be the case. So Carmageddon, obviously you can get in there, you can play Carmageddon through Carmageddon, and you can, as I say, you should pretty much be able to frig with everything.
Yeah, I mean, for all our testing, we didn't feel that we missed the 2 extra cars, did we?
No.
It felt the levels feel just right for 6 cars.
It's just like playing a single player game.
I mean, it did depend on what was going on as well. You could have like sort of 8-player games where not a lot was really happening, which it worked fine, but got 8 cars all together in a big huddle, smashing each other up. It did tend to cause stability problems.
Yeah, not only that, but also I think particularly on smaller maps, which is a pretty obvious point to make, but it would all get just so bloody frenetically hectic. Just jumping from 6 to 8, but it's just all a bit messy and confused. But anyway, Rocker Matt, that's an interesting question. Will we need to run another Kickstarter campaign to fund the console ports? Well, as you know, we've not yet announced anything about the console ports definitely happening, but it's something that we're planning to do. But no, it would not be something that we would expect to finance via Kickstarter. Darian Bro, the idea of the Pratt Cam and the cockpit models as a future add-on for the game would be something that we'd certainly consider. Yeah, I think that's quite a nice idea actually for a DLC sort of game upgrade. That would be quite a nice thing to do. Very nice thing. Mad Mike, any news on Carmageddon? Well, Carmageddon is going to be is in. That's really the only news I can give you on that.
getting beaten up here.
How does car tart work? Because almost every car is stuck at 17.
Is that the challenge for driving all the cars?
Yeah.
Driving different cars.
Yeah. Don't know.
Not too
Maybe
sure. I know
there's
there was a few little bugs with some of the challenges not unlocking properly. So
Yeah.
I think a majority of them have now been fixed. So
Yeah, that's
hopefully
possibly something
some
else
of
that.
your-
Yeah, it's actually something else I might need to add to the to Friday's news release. You know, listo stuff is that there have been a lot of fixes to cheats and challenges. Safe odd way, can't you repair your car after wasting? You can if you're fast enough. If you're wasted in a single player game, if you're wasted and you hit repair quick enough, then you don't actually get respawned. You just repair, and you keep the power ups that you've accumulated. But the repairing is very expensive compared to being recovered or respawned rather. Trent, your Carmageddon question. Yeah, I looked at it and I was waiting until I got confirmation from the guys about what they were doing about Carmageddon before I passed that on and hassled them. And that has been something that's just been finalised, discussed today. So I am going to pass that on to them after this. Okay? Remind me as well, because you know I'm like... Front, shut your face. But yeah, there'll be a whole Hellhound DLC pack just for you. Raw basics, that's good to know. Enjoy your half day. Sheriff NL? Or is that Sheriff me? But yeah, drifting points. I wish we did get drifting points because some of the cars drift like absolute biatches now. God,
yes, you were only saying today, wasn't you, about Crazer?
Yeah, Crazer handles beautifully, and yeah, a bit just drifting around the little industrial death race in and out of the ship. Of course, I gave all these events names. I can't remember any of them. But yeah, doing that with Crazer was just beautiful. The way he was just drifting around all of the containers and stuff. Fantastic.
You're going all fast and furious on us, aren't you?
Yeah. That's me. Getting back to what I really love. Another improvement that it's kind of lumped into the improvements to the cars in multiplayer. We'd set their APO and we'd set that with them having power upgrade of 3, and it was realised by sort of several people at around about the same time that, do you know what, the cars don't feel anything like as good in multiplayer as they do in the sort of normal game, and that's because in the normal game you generally do your upgrades mostly to your armour and offensive, and don't touch. I mean, I don't tend to touch the power too much, and what it done is it had just thrown off the handling of the cars, and they felt, lots of them felt like they were really skatey. So that's cool. So what we did was we've knocked down their upgrades, so they've just got one power upgrade, and then we've balanced also their offensive and power, so that now car-to-car combat also feels a lot more fun in multiplayer, whereas it tended to be the case that you were more inclined to go power up farming and attack each other just with pups. Now it feels more satisfying to just go at it, car to car again, which is what it's all about, or some of what it's all about. So that's been good. Happy with that.
Got a question about running with scissors, about them giving us occasional nods in their games.
Yes.
Have we got anything in our game?
We've got road signs, which are the Running with Scissors logo, and that was something that we sorted out with them some time ago. So that's the main shout out that we've got.
We've obviously got that lovely great big billboard in the
yes, and then in
Postal
Postal 2 they've given us a nice billboard down quite near the dude's house. But we love it, and of course this weekend we've been playing the DLC, the Postal 2 DLC, Paradise Lost, which is an absolute fucking hoot. If you haven't got it, get it. And it's now the case that Sim is probably in one of those relatively rare positions in the game development fraternity where she now appears both as a main character in Carmageddon, and she's also appears as a character in Postal 2 as well, in the DLC.
So two of our favourite franchises she's in.
She's in both. Yeah, so she's one of the Running with Scissors staff who appear and fight alongside you in the DLC, which is excellent stuff. Yes, Ree Graham, she is. That's right. She's Diana. Right, South Park. You asked about pets. Now, it seems to be the case. Nobody's admitting anything, but it does seem that pets have improved in the way that they get damaged in these latest builds. What we're seeing is a lot more peds running around absolutely covered in blood, and if you go into Action Replay and watch them, you'll see that they got hit either by you or by another car, or fell over or something, started bleeding, and then they proceed to get very, very bloody indeed, and it is bloody, if you'll pardon the pun, hilarious. And it does add something to the game when you've got people just head to foot covered in blood, wandering around looking very sorry for themselves. So whether it's the case that something is now working as it should in terms of the way that the PED's blood damage works, blood staining tech works, but it's looking fantastic and it's making us laugh a lot.
Yes. If you haven't seen it yet, head to our official Twitter where we've posted up a picture of one of the PEDs in their bloody state.
And he's also a looky-likey, which is quite interesting. We'll leave you to find out who he's a looky-likey of. But he's a looky-likey of somebody we all love here. Ree Graham, will the final game have more maps than the beta? No. The content that you've got in the beta is the content. And that's that. The Pratt cam was left out, Barcher, because we'd done filming of Sim as Diana for the Pratt cam, but it was decided that basically with the scope of the work that we still had to do, the Pratt cam was an unnecessary additional amount of tasking, for a bunch of people for an amount of time that we just couldn't afford. Plus, it's one of those things that it's quite funny, but generally what we've always found historically happens is you have it on for a while and then you just turn it off because it gets annoying when you hear them repeat it, because you can't have an endless amount of stuff for them to say. They start repeating the same things over and over, just like the announcer does. And I've heard that most people turn that irritating bastard off as well.
Nobby's voice can only sustain you for a short amount of time before you get annoyed.
Hardcore Martin, is this just PC? It is at the moment. Hey Maxine. There's a possibility that we could release some of that footage that we've done for the Bratcam. I think that's a possibility. We'll run that as a little blog at some point, maybe. Barcher, I'd actually answered your question earlier about whether it could possibly appear in the future as DLC. That is a possibility. It would be quite a nice thing. Yeah, Ree Graham. At the risk of the internet exploding over the mention of the term DLC, we're going to be announcing our plans for that as and when we've actually finalised them ourselves. So we're still planning all that side of things. Cryo said the mine shitting and slaughter mortar not actually giving you points for being, for successfully twatting opponents. That was a bug. That one's been fixed.
No offense to Shane or anything, but where did Jason go? Doesn't he love us anymore?
Well, where Jason goes is all over the world. As our publishing director, he is actually spending an awful lot of his time, and he's got a very, very busy year this year. We all have, flying around the world, and
very, very busy man.
Yeah, and doing stuff in foreign lands, and then not being allowed back in again afterwards. So he's. Yeah, that's
Jason,
why he's not here.
Jason is pushing the buttons, right?
Yeah. That's okay. I'm just reading Ryder's. Right. Okay. This Ryder. This is. I like the way that we combine the schoolwork and the stream. This is cutting stuff. Anyway, so Ryder says studies have shown that aggressive tendencies last only a few minutes after playing violent video games, and then the subjects return to normal. Normal people don't retain violent behaviour, but if you have an aggressive personality, well, wouldn't you be attracted to those kinds of games if you enjoyed the pain and suffering of others? 5, 4, 3, 2. Glad to help. I'm God. Hold on. What does Douglas think about that? Yep, he agrees. Oh, come on, Maxine. Try and remember your question. Hey, let's get a
It probably involved
contribution.
Lifeguards.
Yeah.
And boobs.
Jason's definitely also drinking the bottles. That is absolutely true. Ryder. Still, go on. You're determined, aren't you? When have I played a game like Carmageddon? Or when have you? Who is you? Who are you actually directing you these little snippets of stuff off Wikipedia to? I'm not sure. Right. Okay, Barcher. What are you saying? Yeah. Let me see. We started to repair ourselves after dying and flip ourselves when we were upside down. This wasn't possible in Karma 1 and 2. Okay. Yep, you can repair yourself after dying. That's right. If you're quick enough. Let's say it's a trade-off thing. Basically, if you want to keep all the power-ups that you've accumulated, then you can repair yourself if you're quick. But it will cost a fortune. But it does mean that all your carefully gathered together pups. And this is in like the classic Karma game. It's not the case in Car Crusher where getting killed will respawn you, because that's the way that the game works in that particular mode. But yeah, we felt it was a good idea for you to be able to do this, just to give you the option if you want to keep your pups. Otherwise, you'll respawn. It'll cost you 5,000 credits, and that's cheaper generally than it is to hang on to your pups. Okay. And what was the other question? All right, Ryder. I'll stop reading out all your little snippets. I hope somebody else will attempt to help you out with your comments and your hypotheses.
So you can't really lose a classic Karma round. Well, you sort of can if you do lose time. If you run out of time, then you do lose.
Yes, that's the way. Effectively, that's the only way that you can actually lose a classic Karma, and that's exactly the same as the original. The opponents won't complete all the laps. Only you can do that, and and so it just goes on until you decide to finish it in whatever way you've decided to finish it. And that's your classic Karma. And in original games, that was the only way that to play. But of course now we've mixed it up with the extra game modes. Rocker Matt, what's the craziest power-up you've made in this game? Craziest? I don't know. What do you reckon, Shane?
What's the craziest one?
The craziest.
Do you know what? There's too many power-ups to even... Most of the power-ups are crazy.
With nearly 100 of them, picking out a craziest is just very, very difficult. What do you guys think? What's your favourite crazy power-up? Personally, Anvil Launcher is still doing it for me. It is rather overpowered, but it is just so lovely to see this massive lump of metal flying from the front of your car. It's just fabulous.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably feeling legless. Or
no,
mostly armless, actually. I think they're...
Yeah, and give me head. I mean, it's like those ped ones that you can just keep the trigger, keep the button pressed and just fire it constantly and cause massive amount of ped damage as they come within range of your hideously nasty pup. They are pretty nice too. Yeah, giant mutant tail thing.
I've turned him into a smart car.
Excellent, excellent.
An elongated
really
smart
nice
car. I just like that from Bartage. And flaps.
Yeah, it's just great, isn't it? And this is the kind of Carmageddon conversation that we think of as completely normal. Anybody listening to it from outside is going to be vaguely disturbed, if not very disturbed.
Only at Stainers can you get some very, very strange emails being sent around.
Yeah. Yeah, some of the discussions we have are just, well, they're great. Ooh. Can we show the FPS with the Steam overlay?
Do we really want
it? We could do, I suppose. This is probably one of those taxing areas for the FPS in the game.
Go on then.
Oh, the solid granite pet. I wonder what you meant by the solid granite-less power up. Yeah, Reed Graham, the solid granite peds. Well, again, it's there on a list of. It'll either come in, see, or it'll be put on the list for the next game TM, because obviously we've got to have lots of cool new stuff for that. So that'll be that may well be one that we hold on to, because I do think it'll do some brilliant stuff in the game, and Ped's doing lots of other things would be cool as well. I want Peds to shoot at you. Peds with guns. Rockamat, obviously we're answering lots of your questions. That's probably because your name is in a fetching green. It appeals to me. Have we had to cut anything to make an ESRB rating? Nah. We've had to carefully kind of edit some of the names of things a little. But that was self-editing, just because we felt even we might be going a little bit far, but I'm not going to talk about that in any more detail. Moving swiftly on. La 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 la. These laser beam sharks. We have got everything turned up quite a bit, haven't we?
Yes, what's that? Please do bear in mind that our FPS at the moment, we have got a lot of software running to do this Twitch stream with, which will affect our FPS.
That too.
We got all the things on.
Yeah. Reed Graham, what we cut from the game but desperately wanted in it. Well, what it is, the lack of heads in multiplayer is one that's a shame. However, the funny thing is, again, because the focus of your game when you're playing multiplayer is your opponents, it actually hasn't made much difference. In fact, sometimes I'm surprised that I'll finish a multiplayer session and not even have given a single thought to, I wish there had been heads in there. Just don't even think about it. So I think, as long as you're having good fun smashing into all your mates in the game, it kind of becomes.
I think usually a lot of the
an
multiplayer
additional
games
thing.
are so frantic trying to get
Yeah.
each other that you don't sort of have the time to like go around
It's not
expecting peds to be
That's
there.
it, and the only ped focused game mode, in a competitive Carmageddon game is Ped Chase. That is effectively the same game as Checkpoint Stampede anyway. So, as you can have a bloody brilliant Checkpoint Stampede with people, and you don't notice it. So, given that that's probably the thing that I thought would be the sort of biggest regret that we couldn't get into the game, it's turned out to be quite a minor one. Pets with bouncy. Yes, that would be fun, and that's why we do need to do this pup transference thing, and have peds doing stuff that happens to the guards.
Peds firing anvils.
Yes, anvil throwing peds. Peds with oil slicks from their arse. No, maybe not. Rockamat, well, favourite mods that we've seen from the Karma community in previous games. Just the variety. I think for me the variety of additional crazy cars, and also classic cars, because I really, one of the things that I love about Carmageddon is the opportunity to kind of get cool, silly cars from different eras of car history, and drive them around and smash them up. So that's kind of where my favourite stuff tends to be.
I really like the Destruction Derby C2 one.
Oh yeah.
That and Maxine's
Yeah.
truck one. The truck one's good as well.
Yes. Archer, this Carmageddon update won't have cheats. No, in fact, we've been discussing this, funnily enough, today. At some point after full release, I'm guessing that we will make available an XE that is what we use here as our cheat XE to unlock everything, and then use a whole, obviously a whole suite of cheat codes to test and unlock and play with things. That's something that really you're going to leave it until after release, because otherwise it's it's a massive spoiler. So I'm sure it'll come at some point, but it's not something that's been formally discussed yet. I'll let you know when we know more formally what the plans are on that. Cycle, do we see an FPS improvement in this build compared to the one that you guys are playing? God, yes. What that is, I'm not really sure that we can quantify.
No, I think it's just a culmination of lots of things that have just been done. We've certainly noticed the difference playing on our machines down in here. There's been a sort of decent FPS increase, and hopefully you guys will see it too.
I mean, we've gone from being quite a long way away from, on this. This is obviously the most taxing level is this one, City B, and we've gone from it being a fair way away from the target of a nice steady 30 frames to on the recommended even on the recommended PC, to it now being there, which is great as far as I'm concerned. But also, it's also the case that if you actually set the game up on the balanced visual settings, which turns a whole variety of stuff down, you don't actually notice a particularly significant drop in the visual quality of the game, but you get a big improvement in the performance. Right, a dodo power-up.
A what?
A dodo power-up. What does that do? Make everything extinct? Darian, bro, as you say, you grew up with Carmageddon 1 and you miss what you miss about this is a post-apocalyptic theme. I'll tell you what, Patrick would be unhappy if he heard you say that, because he always vehemently hates the idea of it being post-apocalyptic. And it wasn't really ever the intention, but it's interesting you say that, because I feel that we have recaptured the atmosphere of the original game and updated it in a way that for me is pretty satisfying. It's not. Yeah, you're right. The amount of, the level, for instance, City A, is in daytime, but that was done as a contrast to the game all being, the city levels all being nighttime, for instance. And you'll find that with Carmageddon, people are going to be going. It's already been done.
Yeah.
That just with a change of skybox, suddenly it looks like a different level, a different time of day and nighttime level. Because all of a sudden your daytime lighting actually looks like moonlight or whatever, and it works really well. So this sort of thing can be modded in. It's also something that may well be added in the DLC, or again something that'll be a real big aspiration for the next game, the one that comes after Reincarnation. Where we'd want to have, for instance, dynamic night to day happening anyway, because that's a sort of natural progression, isn't it? Mad Mike is dystopian, exactly, that's the word. Surgery, anything new in the new build? In terms of actual content, if that's what you mean, then no. As we have said before, that what you've got in the beta is the full game. And Mr. Armageddon X, hi there. Weather effects, that sort of thing. Again, these along with changing times of day through the course of an event or whatever, very much something for the next game, TM.
Carmageddon.
No surgery.
Reincarnation.
Yeah. That's it, you got the name. Well done.
You're hired.
Yes. We don't have to do anything else on the naming front. No surgery. You're right. That's right. Exactly. The final release is in May, and Friday's release is the update. But it's a biggie. Just have to read there. Okay, I'm going to let you all chat to each other for a moment whilst I go to my next sheet of paper, because what we should also give a shout out is the fact that we are going to be at a new gaming event happening this coming Sunday. So you've all got lots of time to book your flights and get ready to head to Wales. in the good old UK for the Wales Comic Con, where some guys called Fraggers will have their Gamers Bus, which is a double-decker bus fitted out with a whole load of PCs, top and bottom. Somebody else is on the bottom deck, we're on the top deck. We will be showcasing Carmageddon on the top deck of the Gamers Bus at Comic Con Wales, which is at Glyndwr University, Mould Road, Wrexham. Wrexham, can you believe that? I know, fantastic. So, they've got, what have they got? How many PCs they got on the top deck of the bus?
There's 14, I believe.
Yeah, 14
at the
PCs,
top.
all running Karma.
We've got some sexy mood lighting to go with it all. Nice red lighting.
And Shane will be there. And Sam, who was at Res, one of our QA departments, top QAers, will also be there. Those two guys will be running the show. And a fun time will be had by all. Okay. Front. If only you could come as Hellhound with glitter. Yes. Darian Bro E3 not currently planning to be there. It's a little too sort of after the event of the launch, so we will save our pennies and do some other stuff at another time. Coffee Pyramid, obviously the full release is intended to be the full release, as in, right, okay, that's it, it's done now. Clearly we are also prepared for the fact that there may need to be patches, and so, you know, update patch shenanigans, it potentially can go on after that point. Big MT, hi there. Hey. It's our pleasure to revive your childhood. It's what we're here for. I have actually, Mr. Armageddon X, I have actually still spotted the odd blood splodge staying in one place in the level and just splitting away. So yeah, it looks like that one is an occasional. Can still be seen. Ho hum. I'm sure they'll fix it. They fix everything. That's a little movie quote there.
What do you think about Carmageddon football multiplayer mode? Using object repositors for the ball.
That's a fantastic idea. Who remembers Quake? Was it Quake Arena mod with the rail guns and a football and a giant ball? That was pretty bloody cool. Somebody must make it. Modders, get to it. Surgery. What? Graham, can I show you anything that you've never seen in the game? I don't know. It's, well, no, because as I say, the content of the beta is the same as the full game.
So, you missed the keep it in your pants bit at the end.
Yeah, no, I did. I just ignored that. I was planning to pretend I'd missed it and then just get my willy out. So
happens all the time.
Yes. There was a Quake model in Icing on the Quake. Yes, that's why it was called Icing on the Quake. That was my idea.
See, now we've started off a football, American football discussion.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, Peter Flora, we find that because of the way that the cars are modelled, the dynamic damage system actually dynamically damages the cars in the ways that happen because they're dynamically crushing against each other, and generally that means that what you don't see is that just V'ing of the sheet of metal because of the way cars are constructed in real life. We did discuss it, and it was actually sort of added to a, well, we should do this if we can kind of list, if there's a, if it's possible, but because of the configurations of the cars being so different, the constructions of the cars, bloody blah, having so many variations, in the end we just left it as it is, because the crushing that we've ended up with, we all love it. So for us we're happy, and it's not, clearly this isn't a real life car crushing simulator, and that's the end of that, really. Surgery, it is my answer to everything. Yes, somebody will do it. And I think that if the modding community can't sort out world peace, who can? Give crap. Front work done on the Tez Eagle. What does that mean? It's finished, but it's not. It won't. Oh, sorry. It won't be in. It won't be in Friday though, because the whole Kickstarter delivery system needs to be put in place, and that will just be. And that is going to be done just in time for final release. Surgery. Oh, I love the idea that somebody thinks I'm adorable when I laugh. Someone out there. No one here ever says that to me. And I can hear Tracy sniggering in the background. Her sniggering isn't adorable. Uh-oh, she's picking up something heavy. What do we think of Wreckfest next car game?
Yeah.
They're games.
Yeah. So yeah, it's all right.
In a similar genre ilk to our own, and yeah, fine.
I mean, it's a different game to what. I mean, it's car combat, but a different kind of car combat. Yeah. To be honest.
And I actually, wish them every success. I was a massive fan of Flat Out, and I really do hope that that with this that they have the same sort of success, because I absolutely love that game. So yeah, I'm a fan.
Yes, I think there's quite a few Flat Out fans. It was a bloody good game, and still is. Yes.
Ender, is it just you, or are the large target peds much easier to kill than the regular ones? No, it's not just you. That is an absolutely by design change that was made. When we first started testing Ped Chase, the peds that you were chasing were exactly the same as the regular peds, so you could hit that ped there and you'd knock her over, and then you'd go skidding on for another 30 yards trying to turn around to go back because she'd got up and was running off. While you were doing that, somebody else would come and steal your kill, and you would feel angry. So
very, very angry.
My God, you would feel angry. So yes, it was a deliberate change, that basically they insta-jib on contact, and so you are guaranteed, if you're the one who gets to them first, you're guaranteed to get the kill. I at first argued against it, I at first argued against this. To my mind, I felt that it was actually quite good fun that you could not get the kill. Then I played a bit more and realised that no, actually they were absolutely right. The guys who suggested this change, and that we should do it. So we did it. Front, I think my burping is adorable as well. Oh, this is cool. Stadium-tastic.
Fortunately,
Hello.
everybody's getting them from me. I know. So.
Fuck off, copper. Free Graham is the football team sign logo based on Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Based on Sonic?
I don't know. I'll ask Steve Miles, who designed it. I'm pretty sure he didn't have Sonic in mind when he did, but I think it's just one of those happy coincidences. A little shout out to another game of a similar genre, but we haven't actually noticed.
Oh, I've just helped you.
Yes, Engel, what you say there, Engel, flat out driven to destruction. Driven to destruction.
Wasn't that the third one?
Was that the?
No,
that was Ultimate Carnage.
No, they did another one, didn't they? They did a third one.
Oh right, okay.
There was Ultimate Carnage, which is my favourite one.
Yeah, that was my favourite one.
And then there was Flat Out 3, which I didn't think it got that much praise. I think it was
right.
A bit of the black
right,
sheep.
Okay, but yes, but
something
still
with
in that,
threes, isn't it? Something with threes.
Yeah. Yep, but still there in the old Flat Out stable. Well, for me too. I played them to death. As, like you say, it's like a replacement for there not being a Carmageddon anymore. Ah, there you go. 3 wasn't made by Bugbear.
Yes, yeah, that was it.
Right, yeah. Well, there you go. Again, 3's not being made by the original developer. Something to always watch out for. Bike. Whoever was suggesting that bike would be quite a good idea, yes, it would. Two-wheeled tech is something that Patrick will be moving on to. He's absolutely determined that there are going to be bicycles to be run over, bicyclists to be run over, even though he's one himself. He just likes the idea. Well, and we all do, obviously. Pow! Legless them. Oh,
Done it.
well done. It's all over.
Although I didn't quite hit 7. 2 minutes to go.
Ta-da! Oh, really? You just
So we'll just stay
Fail.
quiet for 2 minutes.
Yeah, we're now going to sit here in silence for the last 2 minutes because Sean the Shape, Shane the Sheep. Yeah, Shane finished too early, which I've heard is quite common. Will the mod editor allow you to vajazzle your resource pipe? Yes. That's basically what it's designed for. Loco Pal 5. And
when you release TDR on Steam, did you have many people actually buy it?
Yeah, it was actually the fastest selling one for a while. But, we don't talk about it.
No.
Any info on the release date? Carmageddon Reincarnation 2? Well, Carmageddon Reincarnation, as it's now called, yes, is due to be out in 6 months. But I may be telling you that it's going to be delayed a little bit in 6 months' time. Epitaph! We love you too! We're coming to the end of another great Twitch. And we've had fun with you all. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your input. Thank you for your funny little comments and stuff. And, well, is that it? Are we there?
Yeah, I think,
yeah,
7
okay.
o'clock, yeah.
Right. We're done. It's over. We can all go back to our lives. Hooray! Well, actually, Shane and I just sit here until next week.
Yes.
Okay?
We're actually not needed
So from
until next week.
Us all, it's
Bye.
bye!
What's the button to press?